Hello friends, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Now, as promised, this is part 2 of my homeschool makeover, organization, fix it so that I don't go crazy. And I am so happy to say that it is done and completed. It took a lot of hard graft. It was a lot of work, but I am so thrilled with the results. So this is my tour of our homeschool room. It is still being used, or our homeschool space, I should say. It is still being used and stuff like that. So you will see piles of papers from when I was tearing my house apart to find a receipt that we needed. But the organization of it is done, and I am so excited to show you. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is the little curious cupboard, but also I'm going to take you under my table. So one of the things that I really struggled with last year was getting out Darian's puzzles and the things that I used for his homeschool on days where he was just struggling and having a more difficult time. Puzzle days always seemed to work a bit better for him, but I had them all tucked away in a cupboard, and they weren't as easily accessible. So now they are in perfect little baskets that I can pull down, and we can choose one, put it back, and it's done. Love that. So one of the things that didn't really change for me was, these are my, point properly, Jamie. These are the books that I use for printing. It's stuff that I use on occasion, but I don't use every single day, but I need to be able to access it easily, and so that's where those are. These are their videos for Matthew C. They're easily accessible for every single morning. The pencil sharpener is right here. Our beautiful globe that's just, it's excuse me, it's not super accurate, but it works for our needs. So in that little curio cupboard that I said, I decided to use this more as some storage. So down here is the Christmas unit stuff that I like having on hand, because here's the funny thing, Christmas comes every single year. And so it has its place, and I can add to it. I can, have it readily available as needed. And so that is an excellent way or use of my stuff. And then this top cupboard, shelf, there we go, is stuff for Darian's homeschool fun, his playroom fun time. So all of our home-based therapy program goes there. It's projects that I'm working on for his home-based therapy program, for his playroom time, and it's a place where everything goes, and I know exactly where it is. So I am super pumped and excited about that. Now this part is record player, record player, all beside each other. Isn't that wonderful? It also has a CD player, so I decided to put all of those CDs that you saw, they're all in this drawer instead of tucked away in some place that I won't be able to find regularly. Now, I also put in the chalk, and I'm struggling to open this. There we go. Some homeschool DVD sets are here, so that's my Digging for the Truth. This is our Patterns of Evidence stuff. Anything that I think is interesting, but I also put my chalk here because I use my chalk for my chalkboard every single time I change a unit, because I love to welcome my kids in first thing in the morning with a new picture for each unit. So I need it to be readily available. Again, this was Darian's drawer for his schooling and any receipts for homeschool curriculum that we needed. But look, my planner is not covered. That was one of my goals for this next school year is keeping this space clean so that I can record better what we're doing. And yes, I have dead flowers behind me. Real life, people. Real life. I will get to it eventually. And then this is all the little random notebooks and papers that I use for myself. If I need something, I can quickly grab it. And so that goes in there. And let's see if I can, oh yes, this one's not heavy. So these, I have IMAX videos and movies that can go with units. I have BBC videos, that sort of thing. And then this is where I put their construction paper, drawing paper, that sort of thing for off-the-cuff art projects. I got them some modeling clay, some crayons that we use for crafts. Oof. And then down here, sorry, I'm gonna bump you. This is where our Arteza stuff is with their shirts. Sorry, I'm getting it in the wrong spot. So our Arteza stuff and our shirts to protect our clothes, and just random science stuff that my kids have picked up over the years, and hopefully we will use more of them as I get to using them. Our next spot on my little tour is this cupboard. So this cupboard is now 110% my stuff. From my art stuff, from projects that I one day will get to my writing projects, all the research, all the books that I've written. They're just written for me. I am not published or anything like that. It's just something that I've enjoyed doing in the past. Keepsake stuff, and then all of my teacher toolbox stuff. All my paint and paintbrushes that are for mommy. And then down there again is wrapping stuff and my yarn collection, that sort of thing that I didn't want to get rid of. And I did put in the special newspaper stuff that I wanted to put down on the table when we're doing crafts. It just didn't look good anywhere else, and I didn't want to leave it out. So that goes in that cupboard and should be readily accessible anyway. And then the homeschool zone. There should be fanfare, I think. So all of these cupboards are filled with homeschool stuff. So the stuff in the corner is, get my pointer to work, keepsake stuff, things that were for Darian's diagnosis, all of that kind of stuff I put in there. And then up top here is my laminator and my laminating papers. In here is extra books, notebooks and stuff that we'll use throughout the year. And I have a little container full of dead insects that we've collected over a while because we're hoping to do the creepy crawly unit and use our microscope, which is back there. And so I wanted to make sure that we have some specimens, and there's some specimens that just automatically die and dry out. And so I've got like a little mortuarium of bug in there. This is all our Matthew C. I'm thinking these were just simple IKEA, whatever you call these things, but they're pretty flimsy and I was a little bit worried about it. And so I got this demask material, which I love. I don't know. I've got like my curtain is made out of it too. And I've got a curtain in the entryway, and I'm making curtains for my living room. So I'm really excited about it. But I covered them just to make them stronger, but I love the look of them. And I'm thinking I might do the same thing and cover these. These are the binders of my teacher guides for Gather Round that I figure I'm going to do those units again eventually, but I want to I don't want to have to print them out again. I've already gone through the expense of printing them. For some reason, I think I'm shaking a little bit. So I'm thinking though, just to pretty them up, because I can't get this one out. But I was like, I could probably make like a nice thing out of this material and just pretty them up a little bit. So I might do that. Our microscope, in here are all of our science curriculums that I am going to be using throughout high school and stuff like that. I got a good sale on them, and so I bought them all. And so that was a perfect thing. This is the magazine rack. I'm going to see if I can get a better view of it. This is the magazine rack that we use every single unit. I change out the books in it. And so every single unit, every single season, there's new books for my kids to grab and look at that are based on the stuff that we are currently doing. And it has worked a treat, and I am loving that. So the second layer is my husband's stuff and all of our, banking stuff. These are the books that I'm going to be using for our next unit. The squishy body stuff isn't going to be for this coming unit, but I had nowhere else to put it, and I figured there was room here, so I'm going to do that. Computer paper for printing, and just mommy adult stuff that we need to have on hand for the computer. This stuff is curriculum that we are going to be using. So right now, this is my daughter's musical multiplication stuff. So it's right here every morning for her. I'm currently reading this book and our children's Bible. And then these are things that I am going to be going through this summer, getting myself prepared for next year with IEW, and our habit training stuff and our grammar, fix-it grammar stuff. So this is just stuff that I'm going to be going over the course of this summer, and I wanted them readily available so that I can do that. Down here this is like my favorite shelf ever. I am weird, I know. But our story of the world, I just love how beautiful these turned out, and they're going to last so much longer since I covered Beaudorable, since I covered them again. But this blue one is my favorite because it's mine. Right now it is full of all the stuff I need to show our homeschool facilitator. And so it's a multi-purpose use, so I'll be able to change it up and fix it and whatever. This is what I usually have my current teacher guide in. That's what I use for my teacher guide, because I can turn the cover and show the kids the pictures that are in the teacher guide. But there's nothing in it right now because it's summer. And our stencil. And then these are all the books that we are going to be using for next year's units. And so I have them out and readily available for me to grab and change out as time goes on. This one is strictly Darian, so I am planning for next year to do space unit with him and ocean study with him. So those are the two units that we are going to be doing with him. And so I have everything that I need for him, including down here are the puzzles that I will be doing with him, the flashcards, all of the things that I will be doing with him are just go on these two shelves. My girls have their Legos down here. It's like the only one that's theirs. Everything else is for me and homeschool. This was an extra one. So I am super excited that just by organizing, I found more space. So I have our roadmap, and these are newspaper articles from the Titanic, the time around the Titanic. I have more of my material to fix things up. So I'm really excited. And this book down here is the New York Times newspaper and all of the stuff that they have. Another basic 10 set for my kids as they need. And then I wanted to keep these kayak magazines out so that they're readily available when I have ones that actually fit within any of the units that we're talking about or anything like that. And down here, I am a big fan of the Art Renewal Center, and so they have some magazines. There is my ink. This is some extra stuff, including more demask material because I am crazy. My husband's keepsakes are right here. And then down here are all the books that we have already gone through the units for. I'm going to bring you up here, but we won't need for several years. And I wasn't willing to get rid of those books because we may use them. I might think differently later and go, okay, 4 years is a long time and my kids don't need these picture books anymore. But for now, I'm keeping them safe and sound. So, dear friends, that is our homeschool space in a nutshell. I am so excited. I'm so excited with it. So thrilled with it. I think it turned out so well. I even have extra space for next year and the books that I might grab or the things that I might use. And so that just fills my mama heart. I'm able to breathe again. I don't know if you guys ever feel that way, but towards the end of the last 2 months of school, I was just like, I'm drowning in stuff. And I didn't actually get away or give away or throw away a lot. I think the biggest thing they got rid of was the kids' Play-Doh because they said that they were kind of done with that. But literally, it was about reorganizing and making it make sense and not just sticking things in holes. And, you know, like I spent so much time trying to figure things out and find things. So I hope you've enjoyed this homeschool show and tell space. And if you have any questions or ideas or want to know why I did something, feel free to send me a message down below. I am a mom to 3 kids, 1 with autism and 2 typical developing daughters, and I share all sorts of things, homeschool, home-based therapy program for my son, all sorts of fun things. So please consider subscribing and joining this crazy little channel. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. Bless you.